All right, so we're gonna go for a little burn. Currently at North Pond, and this is a rider perspective as my wife Shelly is passenger, and this is her first ride on the Africa Twin.
It's very windy today.
And feel free to speak freely, throughout the ride, hon.
I just said it's very windy today.
Yeah, so it's going to pick up both our mics, so I can't hear what you're saying, but
Okay.
the mic will pick it up, okay?
Yep.
So we're on Route 8, and we're headed towards Brant Lake. I just missed a shift.
Oh my gosh, it's windy.
And unfortunately, I can't hear what she's saying, but I am going to try to take it easy through here, and I plan to make a loop through Schroon Lake, and we'll see how this comes out. We were up in elevation quite a bit, so hopefully as we drop down into the valley here, the wind will die out a little bit. I need to get us a Pardo set up so we can talk to each other, and that way I'll know if I'm talking over her or what exactly she's saying, because I have no idea. And just so you know that I'm currently operating kilometers per hour, not miles per hour. So this is Shelly's first ride on the Africa Twin. Hoping she's enjoying it. And I know she feels the same way I do. It feels like a sport bike as you ride. It's just got a lot of power. Handles nice. It just makes you want to kind of crank it up.
About blowing me off the motorcycle.
And even as strong as the wind is today, I'm not getting blown all over. There was quite a significant loss in elevation on down to where we are here on the
Ooh.
Doggy dog. Oh, what a beautiful pup. This is a really nice road coming up through here. A lot of twists and turns. The roads are fairly clean, which is nice. Water. And she's doing a good job of not throwing her weight all over the place. I'm not one to really enjoy riding two up, but she's doing a good job of remaining in a neutral position so that it's not affecting the way the bike handles. It handles really well riding two up. I'm actually very impressed. I'll give a little background. We had a 2018 road bike prior to this bike. You know, the bike itself weighed probably 800 or so pounds. So this bike feels very light and nimble in comparison. I want to say this bike's probably in the mid-5s. You know, just the bike itself with, you know, fully loaded with fuel and oil. Nowhere near as light as my Beta 390, but comparing it to my Indian FTR Super Hooligan, I just really dig the way this handles. And the FTR is supposed to be their flat track racer. I don't know, the steering angle is off. To me, coming from a guy
Every
who's
now
owned a
and
bunch
then
of
you get a
sport
sharp blow of wind. It feels like it's going to blow me off the
Yeah.
motorbike.
bikes, the handling is off. It is not nimble, it doesn't turn in well, doesn't hold a good line, it has starting issues when cold. A lot of problems with that bike for 2024 that I was very excited about, and I'm riding this, and I love this bike a lot more than the Indian. Love the look of the Indian. I love the old school script on the tank and the heritage of the Indian name. But I don't think that Polaris did any injustice with the FTR model. You know, they have had great success with the Roland Sand design FTRs, but that's a whole other animal. That's not a production bike. You know, it kind of reminds me of the same theme of problem that we have in NASCAR back in the day. You know, guys would get out and they would race their cars on the weekend. It was the same car that you could go and buy at the showroom on Monday morning. Well, if you're riding a completely altered machine and you can't purchase it at the dealer, it's not the same. So NASCAR's faded away from that. Now cars they're racing all pretty much have a universal frame, universal motors, and I just don't really care for modern day NASCAR. The days of, you know, Richard Petty and, you know, the Plymouth Superbird dominating NASCAR, which was a production car. Just sad times. So back to the current bike, the Africa Twin. I can't describe how impressed I am with this. It has great power riding 2-up. I'm not lacking for any power whatsoever, and it's light on its feet. Whether I'm riding with the two of us, two of these twisties, or by myself. Of course, this is the version with the 19-inch front wheel, which I feel probably makes a difference in the road characteristics. But I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. If we are going to buy one of these machines, the majority of its life is going to be on tarmac. So why would I want a 21-inch front wheel that won't turn in as well, won't handle as well on 90% of the riding it's going to see? I'm just being honest. I'm sure. I have a Beta 390 for the off-road stuff. That is what it's designed for. This is a touring bike. They might want to call it an adventure bike, but at the end of the day, this is a touring bike, sport tour, adventure, whatever you want to call it. It does everything okay. Nothing that it is like, it's not going to dominate the sport bike class. It's not going to dominate the adventure class. It's not going to dominate a cruiser class. This bike just does everything well. I haven't had it off-road yet. No idea what the road mannerisms are going to be in the dirt. The tires that come out of stock are garbage for dirt riding. So all I can tell you is from a road perspective, and I can tell you the seated to standing position transition is, I mean, it's dynamite. Yeah, I could definitely see riding it off-road with the right tires, with the right suspension settings and so forth. But at the end of the day, the technology on this bike, it's so convoluted and cumbersome to try to change modes. And I'm a minimalist guy. I'd rather just have no nanny features, just give me an unadulterated experience where I am in control. That's why I bought the manual version. I don't want the bike doing the work for me. I want to modulate my speed, my clutch, and I kind of, in a way, it's, I just think that they're going in the wrong direction. If they're going to change this bike, add a 19-inch front wheel, add a version that you can get where there's no traction control, no wheelie control, no torque control. Just make it so it has 100% of the power available, and let the rider do what we were intended to do. I didn't even know all these nanny features existed on motorcycles until fairly recently. I mean, the last new bike I purchased prior to this, not counting the current bikes that are in my stable, but prior to that, the 2018 Road Glide, I think that might have had anti-lock brakes, but that would have been about it. It didn't have ride modes, it didn't have wheelie control and all these other nonsense features that I don't need. I've been riding for 35 years or so, and I started as a young kid on an XR80 in the woods. And then transitioned to a 1980 Yamaha Exciter 1250 at the age of 15, that I spent more time polishing than riding.
Oh my goodness.
And then you sprinkle in a Kawasaki Ninja 600R and a Radiant 600 in high school.
The potholes.
And then every other bike under the sun, leader bikes, Gixxers, you name it.
I just don't know.
Had them all. And I just enjoy riding. But I really don't like the bike trying to do the work for me. It really is not necessary.
Ugh. This looks like it has a lot of dirt on this road still. Doesn't look very clean. But a little sheltered more than the other roads from the wind, which is a nice break. That's pretty. There's a bathtub where people get water and don't actually take a bath. But the no wind right through here is lovely. Well, there might be wind, but just not forceful wind that knocks you off the bike. But these roads up here are pretty dirty. It's called Watering Tub Road. I must say it is a pleasant ride when the wind's not blowing you off or you're hitting a pothole or you're not going 88 miles an hour. Other than that, it is pretty nice to be out, smell the earth. Ooh. We just hit a pothole and my body jumped up and down and then knocked Pat's head. This is questioning my decision about driving my own motorcycle. It may make more sense. Look at this mailbox. Check this mailbox out. This is pretty cool. Are we getting pulled over? What are we stopping for? Nope, there's no police behind us. I didn't know what he was doing. Very sandy. I guess he was just turning around. Oh, look at that. That's really gruesome. Maybe he's gonna send it. I hope I get off first. Yeah. You want me to get off?
Mm-hmm.
If I can get up. Oh my dear Lord. The wind is horrible.